I have some absolute must-see TV for you today. I want to bring you just one critical analysis of a single person claiming voter fraud. And the reason I'm going to do this is that very often when we hear about the supposedly endless, just gobs of people claiming voter fraud, proving that Joe Biden didn't really win, we might think, well, there must be something to it, right? I mean, countless affidavits as they are talking about these must really be something if there are so many of them. And often when this happens, what you have to do, it's much like when someone gish gallops you during a debate, meaning throwing 10, 12, 14 different arguments at you, until you slow down and look at each argument's merits one by one. It can seem like there's a case. So let's do the equivalent here. Let's look at just one of these claims of voter fraud, bearing in mind that this one presumably is one that is more credible because Fox News chose this person, whose video I'm going to play for you in a moment, as the person to bring on TV. So this is Mellissa Carone. This is a supposed whistleblower. Imagine calling her that after you watch this video. And Mellissa Carone was brought on to Fox News. Actually, it was Fox Business, not Fox News. Fox Business is the less watched sister channel to Fox News. And Mellissa Carone was interviewed by Lou Dobbs. Now, I'm not going to give you any more. Let's just start watching and hear the explosive story of voter fraud, or fraud, as Trump says, claimed by Mellissa Carone. This is one of the people who signed one of these powerful affidavits testifying to the voter fraud. My challenge to you is follow the story. I challenge you to follow her story. Take a look.
Let me start with the most egregious part of what I read in your affidavit. Multiple counts of the same ballots. How did that happen?
So the workers are handed ballots in stacks of 50s. They are referred to as batches, and they run them through the tabulators. When the ballot has any kind of a mark on it, it'll stop. The tabulator will stop completely, and the computer will put up an error, and it'll say, ballot number 25 has an error. And
right.
So the process would be to take ballot number 25, as well as all of the other ballots that had already went through the tabulator, off, put them back in a pile, put ballot number 25 on top of the stack, discard the whole batch, and rescan it.
And instead they went through that process several times.
So one of the funniest parts of this interview is listening to Lou Dobbs try to understand what on earth this woman is talking about. Certainly it's unclear to me what she's talking about. I'm guessing it's unclear to you, but it's unclear even to Lou Dobbs, who booked this interview for his show. So far we have no smoking gun, not even really an allegation of a smoking gun. So far, we've heard about, nothing really. And this continues, and it becomes even more laughable, if you can imagine. And when Lou Dobbs asks Mellissa Carone to talk about the night shift and the food delivery vans, it goes completely off the rails.
Describe the night shift chaos that you described. Food vans apparently showing up, but not with food, but with ballots, apparently. Give us a sense of what happened there.
So I worked a 24-hour shift. I started at 6 a.m. and I got off at 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. The next day. So I started at 6 a.m. November 3rd, got off at 6 a.m. November 4th. So I was there during their day shift and their night shift. The city provides the workers with food for their shift. Well, they only had enough food for 1/3 of their workers.
Oh boy.
So that is the reason why they were claiming that these vans were brought in. But these vans did not have food taken out of them.
So here is where it looks like Lou Dobbs starts to realize why am I interviewing this woman right now? What the hell is this about? And it gets even more funny. Guys, the vans didn't have enough food. Listen to Lou Dobbs just try to make sense of this, and he can't. He's visibly struggling.
But these vans did not have food taken out of them.
And the vans that showed up, they were supposed to be filled with food. What did they have in them? Do you know?
I never saw anything being brought out of the vans. I know that whatever was being brought out of the vans was being brought out of the back of the vans, but I was not allowed over in that area at all. But the vans were definitely not big enough to be carrying enough food for 2/3 of those workers.
Don't you understand, guys? In the middle of a 24-hour shift, Mellissa Carone saw vans show up. She doesn't know what was in the vans. She saw nothing, but is sure that the vans did not have food for 2/3 of the workers. And what? So what? Watch Lou Dobbs then try to wrap this up with Mellissa Carone.
Well, it's all very suspicious. It is very clear that you have witnessed highly irregular activities in that counting session. And David, I want to turn to you. How well protected is Mellissa?
Lou Dobbs, they're able to say only that it is suspicious and irregular what she saw. But why? What's so suspicious here? So understand how many layers removed we are from any allegations that something was actually going wrong here. They want to go to, I saw vans, but not what was in them at strange times of day without food for everyone. They want to go from that to the results in Michigan must be fraudulent and Trump really won. What? And as you can imagine, Fox News and Fox Business did not continue interviewing these affidavit signers because it went really, really poorly. They switched instead to interviewing, Trump's lawyers, Sidney Powell, and continuing to interview Rudy Giuliani, interviewing Trump campaign staffers. It's almost a joke. Like if Saturday Night Live were to make a skit of this, it would be this. It's indistinguishable from parody. Listen, I was in there. They had no kosher meal for the poll workers. They had no vegan meal for the vegan poll workers. It's very suspicious, Lou. Well, that's certainly highly irregular, Mellissa. It's crazy that these are the people that they are basing their allegations of voter fraud on. Whacked. She was not invited back. I don't think it will surprise you. Let's now keep talking a little bit about what we've been seeing on Fox News. If you love feeding your intellectual curiosity, but you're always struggling to find the time, check out one of my all-time favorite apps called Blinkist. Blinkist lets you consume an entire book on your way home from work. They take thousands of popular nonfiction books, condense each one into text or audio that you can get through in just 15 minutes, and you get all of the important core ideas and information from that book. It's perfect if you don't have enough time to do all the reading you want to do, or if you just want to sample a book before you buy the entire thing. I recently read A Brief History of Time, of course, by the great Stephen Hawking. This is a book that I have been aware of for so long, and other things got in the way. And it was fantastic to check it out on Blinkist. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.